Guilty by association, it's a term that can be a life sentence for those with an indirect connection to a murder. First Alert investigative reporter Beth Warden talks to a representative of a prison policy organization for insight on life without parole changes and where South Dakota stands on the issue today.
A court decision over 1,000 miles away is sending ripple effects across the nation regarding long-term incarceration.
There's a huge ruling that happened in Pennsylvania last week to make unconstitutional mandatory life without parole sentences there for felony murder.
The Pennsylvania court decision determined life without parole is cruel punishment when not considering the depth of responsibility of the crime. Examples are an accomplice, a lookout person, or a getaway driver.
The question is, should they be treated as if they committed murder? And if they are treated under the state's law as if they committed intentional murder, should they be given a life without parole sentence? And South Dakota is among a handful of states now that are left that mandate that kind of extreme sentence.
Nazgul Ganush, research director with the nonprofit The Sentencing Project, says other states are making changes.
Minnesota has carved out people who are accomplices in the underlying felony from being convicted of felony murder if somebody else in their group does the killing. California has also moved in that direction. Colorado has moved away from life without parole sentences.
Ganush believes as an inmate ages, their potential to be a threat to society could diminish.
These kinds of sentences do is that they incarcerate people for extremely long periods of time when the cost of incarceration goes up a lot because of people's health care needs.
Looking at the South Dakota Department of Corrections statistical report, there are 104 inmates ages 55 plus serving a life sentence in South Dakota. Based on the average cost of an inmate per day, the cost to incarcerate this group of offenders is $3.5 million annually. I checked with several legislators who are not willing to comment and point to this issue being up to the courts to decide.
And this kind of offense, when the state can look at itself and recognize that it's now an outlier and there's a growing reform movement that it could be a part of, is a really great opportunity to reconsider how many people are being sent behind bars and for how long.
In Sioux Falls, Beth Warden, Dakota News Now.